Obviously, the Smollett family, they're very, very happy with today's developments. The legal team, Ms. Liddell, Mr. Allen, Ms. Walker, and Ms. Lewis, and myself, we're very elated about this. Let me make something clear. There is no room for politics in our court system, and our appellate courts in this great state do not play politics. Let me make something clear. When this case was initially re-indicted, when this case was prosecuted, when this case was sentenced, at each of those steps, I wondered to myself whether Chicago has seceded from the Union. Because in this country, you cannot punish a person twice. And while everyone was focused on the sensationalism surrounding this case, people were not focused on the constitutionality of the prosecution. And we've been trying to tell everyone that. It is unconstitutional to charge someone twice. Mr. Smollett paid a $10,000 fine. Let me repeat it again, because our appellate courts are listening. Paid a $10,000 fine and did community service. Now, there's no time machine to go back in time to undo those things. His $10,000 fine hasn't even been returned to him, right? And then you re-indict the case and you give him 30 months probation for a Class 4 felony with a man with no criminal record, felony record. 30 months probation, you give him 150 days in jail. You give him what else? You make him do restitution of $120,000, and then you give him the maximum fine. You know, and there's something wrong with that. We've been complaining about the disparate treatment of African Americans in the judicial system, regardless of what you think about this case. Some people might think Mr. Smollett is guilty. I disagree. We all disagree. But that's okay. You're entitled to your opinion. But the real question is, should black men be walked into jail for a Class 4 felony? Shame on you if you think they should. That's a disgrace. It's wrong. We're talking about decarceration in this day and age. The Trump administration, the Obama administration, the Rauner administration in Illinois, and people are still trying to lock black men up, and it's a disgrace. Now, the judge's sentencing, couldn't disagree more with it. The judge spends a great deal of time chastising, berating my client. I've never seen that, and I thought it was unprofessional. That's my personal opinion. Not happy with that. And we look forward, now that this case is gone to the appellate court, to actually having finally an intellectual conversation about the constitutionality of this case. I'm not playing politics. That's all I'll say for now.
How's everybody doing?
Could you spell your name and spell it?
Shay Allen is S-H-A-Y, and it's no coincidence that we're here today. I think we're here because the appellate court realized this was the right thing to do. I hope everyone realizes that the persecution that went on in that courthouse was absurd, and that the sentence was a draconian sentence. It was excessive, and I've always called this case the Class 4 murder. Apparently, this case is more important than the 20% clearance rate of the murders that are here in Chicago. Apparently, any citizen in Chicago, if they want to, if they don't like the decision that this duly elected official makes, can saunter into the courtroom and ask for a special prosecutor. I hope every citizen of Chicago realizes how important this case is, because this could be you. You may think, oh, that's ridiculous, I would never do these things that he's accused of, but you can definitely be charged for something you didn't do. You should never, ever be charged again for something that you had already been prosecuted for. It's important. Do not minimize it. It's not a joke. Thank you.
It should also not be minimized.
Heather,
yes.
give your name and spell it.
Heather Widdell, W-I-D-E-L-L. It should not be minimized, the issue of being tried in the court of public opinion and having to feel that you need to prove your own innocence. That goes against a major tenet of not just, obviously, Illinois, Cook County, but the United States judicial system. Mr. Smollett had to come into this courtroom 2.5 years after this incident occurred and felt that he needed to prove his own innocence. And again, that's patently unfair. That's not how the system works. It's not how the system should work. And the sentence that Judge Lynn doled out was completely devoid of any sort of intellectual curiosity or prowess. And I think, again, the appellate courts, we're very, very much looking forward to having a non-political discourse with them that is intellectual, that's understanding of the laws, that are understanding of what Class 4 felonies mean, what the statutes are designed for by the legislature of this state. And again, moving forward, I hope that everyone understands, like Mr. Allen said, the very important nature of this case and the implications for every single citizen of this state and of this county, that anybody is capable of being charged with a crime, anybody is capable of being charged with a felony, and you are absolutely entitled to not say a word, you're absolutely entitled to speak in your own defense, and you're absolutely entitled to representation by attorneys. So we're very elated that Mr. Smollett is out, and the work is not finished at this point.
Hello, Tamara Walker, Tamara. We are just pleased, we are overjoyed that the appellate court was able to cut through the politics, to cut through the smoke screen, and was able to understand that we have real, definitive issues for people, and that's why they made the decision that they made. This is a very serious issue that any American can lose their presumption of innocence should be an affront to us all. And you all saw during the sentencing how Judge Lynn took it upon himself to not only sentence McClain, which is his right as a judge, but to character assassinate him. Let's not forget that the least act of a man is not the measure of a man. And we had letters of support from the NAACP who talked about the disparate treatment that black males receive in the criminal justice system. It is time to have that conversation, and we are elated that the appellate court is able to decipher the legal issues here and apply the correct standard, and we look forward to this process playing out. Thank you.
Questions?
Nene or whoever spoke with Jussie this evening to inform him he was getting out of jail. Tell us about that phone call. What was the reaction?
The first thing Jussie did was what separates us in the jail because of COVID is the glass, and he pushed his hands on the glass, and his eyes got teary, and I've never seen that because he's been very strong in there, and he said, I nearly lost hope in our constitutional system.
Close to the damage you've already done to your own life.
On Thursday, Judge James Lynn sentences Smollett to 150 days in jail, ordering him to pay a little over $120,000 in restitution and slapping on a $25,000 fine. Thursday, Fox pins an op-ed in the Chicago Sun-Times where she calls the Smollett case a failure of our justice system, citing a mob mentality against black women elected prosecutors. Friday morning, Fox and I sit down for this exclusive television interview to explain. What do you mean mob mentality against black female prosecutors?
In this case, it's been 3 years for a Class 4 felony where a decision was made. And for the last 3 years, there's been this deliberate attempt to upend the decision that my office made. And it feels unprecedented and it feels personal.
Racist?
Mr. Smollett was given 150 days in Cook County Jail. Last time the special prosecutor had a case of R.J. Vaneco, the man who was accused of punching and killing someone, he got 60 days in jail. You punch and kill someone and get 60 days in jail. You lie about a hoax in which you are the victim, which is not to dismiss it, but you get 150. And so what I would say is that Cook County's criminal justice system has had racial disparities throughout. And this is a clear example of what that racial disparity looks like.
You are actually throwing a national pity party for yourself.
Why did the judge admonish him as he did?
I have not seen, in my tenure as state's attorney, helicopters flying overhead, the scrum of cameras, whether it was on the first bond hearing date or yesterday.
Well, you had R. Kelly. You had similar.
R. Kelly had an arrest warrant out for him, and the spectacle around that. But that was for allegations of sexually abusing multiple women. That was for allegations of sexual assault. This was allegations that he perpetrated a hoax. And I think the energy, and people have had really strong emotions about this case, from the President of the United States to the FOP and folks in between.
Jussie Smollett took advantage of the pain and anger of racism to promote his career.
He was made an example of.
But who is the example being made of, and for what?
I think part of it, the example is being made for prosecutors who decide not to do what's traditionally done. I think part of this is, the decision that I made, and it was not acceptable to some, and we're going to show you what an alternate disposition would be. Is sending you to prison or sending you to jail for 150 days, is that what accountability looks like when we don't do that on other Class 4 felonies? We don't. We don't do that on other Class 4 felonies. And so I think Mr. Smollett paid the price for people who wanted, who had a thirst for revenge.
Jussie Smollett has never shown to the city of Chicago an ounce of contrition. He's never once stood up to say, I'm sorry. He's never once stood up to accept responsibility for his criminal conduct. He has simply denied it, and denied it.
In August of 2019, a judge appoints former U.S. Attorney Dan Webb to investigate why Fox's office eventually drops charges against Smollett.
Smollett was allowed to go free and basically give the finger to the city of Chicago. Judge Tooman decided that handling of that case was so inappropriate that a special prosecutor needed to be appointed. So I followed the directions of Judge Tooman and not the directions of
Peace, Black family. Street Watching TV back with another, video. Another hot topic for tonight. First time coming in and tuning in to my channel. Please mash up the like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel so you always been the crosshairs of this dynamic heat that I be dropping. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming black at y'all, with some important information. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm predicting prophecy. I'm back. Part 2 on the Jussie Smollett outcome of this ongoing saga that's going on between him and Chicago, but it's like him versus the United States of America. If you look at this particular subject, as you look at this particular event that's going on right now in 2022, this 3 years later, and you see how they coming at us as a group of people, and Black people cold miss the whole sequence. They miss the prophecy. They miss the information that should be registering and retaining in their mind that Black America lives under a shadow of death, up under all causes in this country. Every day we live up under the shadow of death. This should have gave us a hint to what's really going on. I'm talking about the people that's asleep to what's really going on in this world as it retains and obtain the Black people. It's crazy. Jussie Smollett, as y'all all know, was let out of jail after spending 6 days in Chicago County Jail, Cook County Jail. The appellate court conceded that a low-level felony, such as a 4th-level felony in Chicago, do not warrant the punishment that Jussie Smollett is receiving. There's a deeper meaning behind this. This all started with a Black formal DA attorney, Kim Fox, state district attorney, Kim Fox, after she dropped this ongoing case against Jussie Smollett. After she dropped that case, the police department, seemed like the whole government of Chicago was pissed, because that's not the way you deal with black people, especially when they're famous. You make them pay the penalty. If you remember Plaxico Burress, I'm going to go back to that because I did talk about Plaxico Burress in that last video. And I correlated the two situations. And the reason why I did that, because it seems like when you black in this country, you have a small margin for error if you get in trouble. And if you black and famous, they want your money. They want to make you the scapegoat to show the world that black people are not even worthy when they in position making money. Black people are the scum of the earth. This is the message that they want to send the world. Also, this is a message that they sending black people, that you are not free in this country. You see what we're going to do to you if you get famous. Because you already know what the outcome is. If you broke in America being black, you would not be out of jail like Jussie Smollett. But the appellate court seen this unconstitutional case, and they doing the racism just blunt right out in front of everybody. The appellate court don't want to be called out on this racism. Hey, y'all doing this shit right out in the open. We do this shit secretly. The way y'all hanging this black dude out in front of us, in front of the world, this might wake black people up, but hey, the appellate court is wrong. You can keep on ignoring the fact that this brother's black. Black people still can't catch it. I'm hearing the news that he is crazy in the black community. I'm tuning in just to see if black people are waking up. Black people are asleep. They not even talking about the case. If they talking about going to a function, you know what I mean? Going out of town, vacation. When you hear the Jussie Smollett situation come up, the black community is like, fuck him. The heterosexual brother saying he's gay, he's tripping. But I'm paying attention because this is a sign. See, America don't give a fuck about him being a homosexual. That's part of the Caucasian or white world's culture. Homosexuality is nothing new. It's the skin color. He's black first before he's a homosexual. You're black first before you're a Christian and a Muslim and a Jew. Before religion, you're black first and foremost. So to me, they're hanging him because he's black. Like I say, homosexuality to me has no beneficial aspects to uphold the community of African people. That is not our foundation. That has never been part of our foundation until we come in contact with these particular people that I'm talking about, the Neanderthal. Homosexuality wasn't even part of Africans' tradition. We were not even thought of. You feel what I'm saying? Until we start coming in contact with other people that practice homosexuality. You know what I'm saying? Only reason why black men today probably practice homosexuality because it's deep down in the DNA, because what happened in the slave trade, a lot of people don't understand that the African men and boys were also sodomized by white slave masters. So that's why the homosexual thing is running rampant through black people's DNA today. You got to understand what happened in the past is responsible for our present, but we don't believe that. Oh, slavery happened back in the day. Why are you talking about it? Because your past is responsible for the present. It's just like that. But Kim Fox the state attorney in Chicago. They work hard. See, like the whole Chicago, some special judge named Judge Tooman hired some and special investigator to see why this case was dropped against Jussie Smollett. What was so deep about this? They thought Kim Foxx was in contact with the Smollett family. They had investigated this sister Kim Foxx. That's why I tell black people, when you see black people in position and they stand there for a long time, they got to step on black people as like if they're white. If Kim Foxx would have tried this brother, this thing would even be blown out of proportion as it is. If Kim Foxx would have never dropped these charges and smashed this brother the way they want to smash him, he'd probably be already dead. Don't you know they compromised his emergency contact information number inside that jail? He gave that number to the staff in prison or anywhere. When you are in the custody of these Neanderthals, they always ask you a question. Who do you want to contact in case of emergency, in case something happened to you while you held in captivity? And you give the staff member that particular number. So when something happened to you in prison, they got a number to contact your fam. You feel what I'm saying? Who called his family? And then they move him to a psych ward. And guess what? The lawyers found out on his psych cell where he was at, on the door, there was a check mark of harm himself. He was moved there because they thought he was going to harm himself. But what did he say when he left the courtroom? See, they plot on our people 24/7, man. Thanks to the pillar court, his life may be saved at this time. Don't you know? They're still trying to stick it to this dude. They still trying to stick it to this dude. He's still on probation, and they got to still see if this appeal gonna go through to get him eradicated and exonerated from this case. I think this was a plot, a setup to kill Jussie Smollett. I don't know who he fucked around and upset in the entertainment business, but they trying to sacrifice this brother. And it could be the director of the empire. I don't put nothing past Negroes who work with these motherfuckers, man. I'm not gonna say who they are, but my video was took down because I said something about these particular people, and all of a sudden YouTube know I'm hot. Everybody know I'm hot. I'm hot on these Neanderthals and these boule ass niggas who sell people out. I don't know who Jussie Smollett pissed off in the entertainment business, but they coming for his head. Anytime they ask you to pay the police department off and you don't pay them off and they come at you, now you owe them over 100,000 or 200,000. I don't know the exact, but it's a crazy number. I think it's 100,000 and a $25,000 fine for just catching the case. And you trying to tell me that these Nigerian immigrant brothers that's here in this country as upcoming actors will put themselves on the line for $3,500 that they had to split? That they had to split? See, I'm looking at the math and it don't add up. How is it that y'all let him pay a $10,000 bond, y'all people in Chicago, you racist people in Chicago, he paid a $10,000 bond and ain't got none of the money back. I think it was $10,000, maybe been more than that. Where's the $10,000 bond that Jussie Smollett paid? Ain't nobody return that back to him. He's been going to court. You feel what I'm saying? So if he forfeit that money, don't that money go towards the restitution? But if he get found now guilty, he don't owe nobody. They're going to be really pissed off. It's not over with, man. He got out on emergency appeal. The appellate court in Chicago seen the lynching, the criminal lynching, using the fucking judicial system to lynch black people like they always do. And I like that attorney for Jussie Smollett. He letting the world know. He tired of seeing black men being lynched by the court system. Hey y'all, the prison systems, the jail system is the new breeding ground, what has been the breeding ground to kill people. And COVID-19 is a way they can hide it too. Kill your people and say they die from COVID-19. I've told y'all, man, the name of the game is to kill black people, man. Y'all don't believe this is a fucking pandemic, you know, to off us, man, to get rid of us. That's why they don't give us no breaks. In Capitol Hill, they have never wrote a law specifically for African American people. They always say minorities. So when they spread money out, they give it to the Asians and minorities, the Hispanics, but nothing for the African American who built this country and put this country on its motherfucking axis, rotating around the world, being a super world power. If it wasn't for the slavery of African people who built this country, America wouldn't be what it is today. And this bitch is still not willing to share her motherfucking wealth with the motherfucking African. And motherfuckers tell me I'm a racist for pointing this real shit out. You know what I'm saying? For pointing this real shit out. A couple years ago, it was a guy named R.J. Vayneko in Chicago. He punched and killed a man and only got 50 days in jail. In the Cook County Jail. Cal Wittenhouse killed 2 people and shot one and injured one. He shot 3 people, killed them, and injured one, and gets no time in prison. No time in jail. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe Jussie Smollett was attacked by white men when he said, "Make America great again." Those old Proud Boys, that got jobs in political places, them Proud Boy motherfuckers, like the President of the United States, ex-President Trump, he's a fucking Proud Boy. I can't believe that niggas can't see what the fuck's going on. These bitches are gearing up to put Trump back in office. These real racist motherfuckers like Mitch Bitch McConnell. And I can't understand why Negroes cannot see the whole setup. When they put these motherfucking Republicans back in motherfucking power, niggas ain't got their shit together. They trying to off us, nigga. Y'all talking about this motherfucker is against deep state. Well, it's the fucking Illuminati and the motherfucking racist rednecks grade go to motherfucking war. And niggas, we ain't got nothing to motherfucking do with it. We need to band up and put ourselves, you know what I'm saying, in the same motherfucking war motherfucking mind as these motherfuckers about to do. See, y'all don't understand this South and North shit, you know what I'm saying? It's about to start again. You know what I'm saying? You got the motherfucking Yankees, you know what I'm saying, against the motherfucking country fucks, the fucking Confederates. You feel what I'm saying? So you let these motherfuckers go to motherfucking war. Why y'all can't see that shit? Then you got House Negroes. They gonna be some dumb motherfuckers. You got them dumbass black Republicans. You know, them motherfuckers white to the motherfucking core. I told y'all, every motherfucker's not black because they in this skin color. You got motherfuckers that look just like you and me. even darker with the big African features. Them motherfuckers white to the core. If you got a Negro that's a motherfucking Republican, that nigga is white to the motherfucking core. He's the biggest bootleg ass motherfucking nigga in position. You feel what I'm saying? So when this motherfucker, Jussie Smollett, said that these motherfuckers made racial ethics, disrespect, words towards him, verbal disrespectful words, and called him the N-word and put a noose on his neck and threw a substance on his body. These was probably white men for real. The Proud Boys and any of these motherfuckers in position could have hired these motherfuckers to come forth and said that he hired them and paid them only $3,500 to fake this motherfucking racial attack. You know what I'm saying? So my thing is this, man. Black people don't wake up, man. We'll never wake up. This should be an eye-opener. You know what I'm saying? How they go at this dude, man. 150 days in jail. Wish they were trying to kill him in jail. I'm pretty much sure if he don't get no appeal, emergency appeal, I believe they would have killed this brother. I seriously do. You know, this should be an eye-opener to black people, man. You got to unplug from this matrix, man. These motherfuckers is not playing with us. It's about to get worse too. That black community, it's gonna come your way, man. Motherfuckers been telling you the hunger game. You know, everybody out here flossing like you got money, but you ain't really got money. You willing to put that up. You know what I'm saying? You know, you should be willing to put that up for a rainy day, because all that flossing, all those days, and motherfuckers trying to be seen. Hey, it ain't gonna be plenty out here. It ain't gonna be plentiful no more. These motherfuckers is not playing. And when Trump get in there, y'all gonna see. You know, black people, they ain't seeing what's going on, man. The Jussie Smollett, that should be an eye opener. But y'all don't even see the outrage in this. Y'all don't see it. Black men been lynched so much in this country. They kill black people so much and show it on TV, show it in the movies. You know, it make you numb to the situation like, oh yeah, just another nigga dying. You know what I'm saying? As long as I ain't dying, as long as it ain't happening to my family. And then when somebody in your family get killed by white supremacy, you know, you better be a leader, you want to do fundraising, and you want your self-awareness, you want to go get crunk, you know what I'm saying? We should be already crunk. Y'all want to go get this motherfucking, this lawyer Crump dude. I don't know where he always come, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying, it's just weird how he the only one that's hired to be these big top lawyers with something like, you know, or the murder of one of our, you know, people, you know what I'm saying? We ought to fucking Crump. We need to be already Crump, getting together, letting the world know who the fuck we is. We don't galvanize together and show the world that we are a people. How they gonna respect us when we don't even stand as a people? We on individualist type of shit. You know what I'm saying? We gotta come together as a fucking African one union. You feel what I'm saying? So man, it's Jussie Smollett situation is not an eye opener to the black community. They numb, man. I did my rating, man. They don't see it. They don't see it. All they do, they see him as the bad guy. Because the media, I told you, the media know how to make you look guilty and you ain't guilty. Something strange about this case. Something strange about this case. If black people can't see it, man, we shot. We dead. We can't see. We zombies, man. Hey, the Street Watcher TV, man. Leave comments below. Street Watcher TV, I'm gone.